Well, hi everyone. On Saturday, April 25th, I did a video about this failure of the parapet wall from a RIDOT bridge in Cranston. This failure occurred the evening of Friday, April 24th, 2026. I'm recording this update Monday morning, April 27th, 2026. And I wanted to get this video out because I've noticed some really concerning things about what's happened here, which again contradicts the apparent narrative that Rhode Island government officials seem to be trying to put out there. So I've got some questions. Hopefully local media contacts here will pick up some of these questions and present them to the governor and RIDOT representatives at the press conference that's going to occur today at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Now, to correct one thing from my video on Saturday, it was the south parapet wall on this ramp that goes from I-10 north to I-95 north in Cranston, Rhode Island. And you could tell that pretty much the entire side of this bridge parapet wall crashed down onto the active Amtrak track. So just a luck and miracle really that no one was seriously injured or worse. And I went to Google Earth, and this entire span length is about 157 feet. So it looks like well over 100 feet of this wall came crashing down. And of course, it caused major disruptions. As of the recording here this morning, I understand that 2 of the 3 Amtrak tracks have been reopened to service. Now I'm going to play some of this footage from a WPRI video. I've got a link to this video in the description. But you'll notice how cleanly this parapet wall detached from the bridge deck. It looks to me like it's saw cut. What I don't understand is how so much of this wall apparently came out all at once. I don't see any indications of concrete spalls where reinforcing pulled out from the deck as other portions of the wall fell over the side. I mean, this looks like a demolition related work. Now, of course, I've been hard on RIDOT officials, and I think deservedly so, because every opportunity they have to explain in an open and transparent fashion what happened on a given bridge project, a near disaster, you get a bunch of nonsense. Now, first of all, I'm questioning, why is John Igliozzi? He's, from what I understand, RIDOT chief of staff, chief of legal, acting head of maintenance. What is he doing on this scene here? Listen to what he has to say.
I think the proof's in the pudding that we are constantly, moving hundreds of thousands of people every day safely, getting to their businesses and their homes, and we're going to continue to, promote that mission statement.
What? So because there hasn't been any injuries or death, the proof's in the pudding, nothing to see here. And of course, we got the governor, got to tell everybody he's keeping everybody safe.
Across the state, as John indicated, there is ongoing inspections in terms of the safety, and I feel confident that the bridges are safe.
Okay, let's forget about the bridges being safe or not. Can you rely on RIDOT to protect the traveling public and not put them at undue risk? I mean, has he seen The Deer Hunter? Christopher Walken's character was safe for many rounds of the game that he was playing in that movie. It wasn't a safe activity. Again, I'm just looking at this footage and it's just like a saw cut. How does that happen? So these are some questions that I hope local media will ask the governor and RIDOT officials at this press conference this afternoon. What work was the contractor doing specifically in the days leading up to the April 24, 2026 failure of the bridge parapet and barrier wall? The governor was trying to make it sound like, oh, this is Amtrak's deal. It's their barrier wall. Well, it's RIDOT's parapet wall. So you've got the concrete wall that's connected to the bridge deck. On top of the wall is the guardrail, and overlying that is this what appears to be aluminum barrier wall to keep people from throwing material onto the electrified Amtrak lines down below. Which construction companies were doing this work? Is it true that there was a contractor doing demolition preparation work on this bridge who saw cut the base of the parapet wall and the interface with the bridge deck immediately prior to the failure of this parapet wall and barrier? I have reliable sources that indicate that was the case, but I don't have any other evidence at this point. So I'd like to See, the local news media asked this of the governor and RIDOT officials today. Does RIDOT believe that the demolition preparation work or any other work recently performed for this bridge in any way contributed to the failure of this parapet wall on April 24th, 2026? Is it true that the contractor also saw cut the base of the parapet wall on the north side too, and immediately had to shore this wall after the parapet failure on the south side of the bridge ramp? Is this another example of poorly executed bridge demolition work? How can the traveling public have any reliance on RIDOT to not unduly endanger the traveling public in the way they administer bridge-related demolition and construction activities? I think these are all fair questions. Please ask them today, and I'll do future updates as new information becomes available. With that, I want to thank those of you who've contributed to Buy Me a Coffee. That's one of the better ways to support this channel. I've had an outpouring of contributions here lately, and I really appreciate that. I also want to thank the channel members and those of you who have contributed to Super Thanks. So stay tuned, everyone.